welcome to Seal Island. My name is Sarah. I am one of the marine animal specialists here today to share with you some of our beautiful seals that call Sealife home. So I thought, let's start with our smallest and our youngest by the name of Ruby. She is a long-nosed fur seal, probably the most common species you'll find along our east coastline. Here she is. Would you like to go to your rock? Perfect. Okay. Now, long-nosed fur seals are a native species to Australia, and like I said, they're probably the most common species you'll find. So next time you're out and about along our wonderful Australian beaches, you might just see one of these guys in the water or up on land. And there's a few key things that you should know these beautiful animals safely. If you see a seal with cute little ears, good, and large front flippers, it's likely they're a part of the eared seal family. But the key feature to know is their ability to walk, run and climb. And that's due to a very strong and flexible hip joint that gives them lots of stability. Thank you, Ruby.
Really cute.
Now, these flippers are quite useful on land, but they're most efficient in the water. Take a look.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, good job, Ruby. Believe it or not, these seals have been known to reach burst speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. Now, I want to convince you all that these seals can easily outrun you or I over a short distance on land. So, Ruby, how does a bit of a run sound? Good job there, Bruce. So, Ruby, if there are people out there that want to view these seals, how can they do so safely?
That's really cute.
We can keep a distance of about 40 to 50 meters because these seals, they can become aggressive if they ever feel threatened. Now, Ruby is one of our youngest, and I thought I'd share with you all today how we work with our seals ever so closely. Just give me a moment to make my way back down there.
Yeah. Wow.
Alright, so Ruby is our youngest, so we had to start from scratch when it comes to working with our seals. What that simply means is that we need a way to communicate to Ruby when she's offering the correct behaviour. So she sees a visual cue, and then she also then receives some fish, which is something she absolutely loves, when she offers the correct behaviour. Now I gave Ruby a nice big wave, and I have a marine animal specialist behind the scenes who's giving her lots of fish for offering that correct behaviour of heading off behind the scenes. Now she is still quite young and has so much more to learn. It can take years for an animal to learn all of the behaviours that you might see today in a presentation or any of our guest interactive programs. And then of course you get a chance to see behind the scenes of some of the care that we provide our seals. Now, not many of you get a chance to do behind the scenes,
wow.
so I thought let's do that right here today with Sly.
That's a really big one. Wow, I think I put on that.
He is a male long-nosed fur seal that's been with us for many years. He's a rescued seal. He was found on the Gold Coast with injuries from a cooking shark. Sly, can you show us where those scars remain? That's right, on the underside of his body. So government authorities brought him in for rehabilitation. It was quite lengthy due to the severity of his injuries. Ultimately, he was deemed unsuitable for release and placed permanently in our care. care, and we were giving him a chance to give him a forever home here at Sealife.
Oh.
So, one of the first categories of behaviours we teach our seals are what we call healthcare or medical management behaviours. This way we can do daily physical exams on our seals, collect samples or imaging like x-rays and ultrasounds to make sure that our animals are in the best condition. Now we also can teach our seals to have their teeth and gums cleaned. So Sly, we're going to do that today, aren't we?
No.
Yes, we are. Okay. Now our veterinarians have provided us with a seal-approved mouthwash and toothbrush. So Sly, get you to stay. Just got to grab a few things. Alright, I have my seal-approved mouthwash and my toothbrush. So the first thing we need to do is ask Sly to open up nice and wide so I can spray this mouthwash onto all of his teeth. Oh, good job, Sly. Good. Okay, now that he's got that mouthwash on there, there's a few teeth and gums that I need to brush. So, Sly, I'm going to need you to open up nice and wide again so that we can access a few of these teeth. Good boy. And for those of you up close, you might be able to see that he's holding very still for all of this brushing. Good. Oh, let's go for Sly. Can I get to Sly? So you're probably wondering, how do you get to that spot where Sly is actively participating in his own healthcare? Well, it's by teaching them through small, simple, easily achievable steps and making it nice and positive and rewarding along the way. You'll notice that when Sly allowed me to brush his teeth and put on that seal-approved mouthwash, he received lots of fishy treats. In fact, we'll spread out his entire diet of 7 kilos of fish throughout the entire day to reward and reinforce all the behaviours that keep him healthy, like that you just saw, but also physically fit and cognitively stimulated. So Sly, which would you prefer to show everyone today? Some exercise or some exercise of your brain? He said exercise of the brain. He's not overly fond of exercise of the body. So if you pay close attention, you're going to notice that Sly is watching my every move. And he's watching me because each move corresponds to a different action or behaviour. So he has to think every single time he sees a cue, what does that behaviour correspond to? Now that simple touch of the rock meant that for him to move locations. The simple presentation of the hand means to him to show his flipper. And Sly, let's show a few more complex behaviours. So, me moving to this part of the rock, he knows to dive into the water and demonstrate a natural behaviour called sailing that allows him to regulate his body temperature. He offered that perfectly, and you guessed it, he's going to get a variety of different fishy treats from my pouch. Thank you, Sly, for that beautiful demonstration. So in this environment, we can challenge them in lots of different ways. It also helps us teach you guys how incredible these seals really are. Now, Sly demonstrated sailing, and that is a way in which they can cool off on a warm summer's day. Sly is covered in fur from his nose all the way to his tail. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But his flippers don't have any fur on them, so it helps him regulate his body temperature. So Sly, we need to see if everyone can tell that you're actually a fur seal with 2 very thick layers. So raise your hand if you can see the fur on Sly's body. Not many people, that's okay. Sly, you are a beautiful streamlined marine mammal. So his fur coat needs to lie down nice and flat so he can be nice and quick through the water. Isn't that right, buddy? Indeed, to get away from big predators like sharks and orcas. But long-nosed fur seals can be found in cool waters where it can get quite cold. So this 2-layer fur coat keeps him and nice and warm, I'm going to give Sly a little bit of a fur do that's going to help everyone in our audience be able to see all of this fur. In fact, the fur closest to the skin remains completely dry even when he's fully submerged in the water. Alright Sly, that's a beautiful fur do that we've got going on here. Now raise your hand if you can see all of that fur on his body. Fantastic! Now last fact about this fur coat, it is the second densest fur coat in the animal kingdom, second to the sea otter. Very, very impressive. Now these seals, they have their big predators like great white sharks and orcas, and they can rely on their eyes to see them, but also these beautiful, strong and sensitive whiskers to be able to detect the movements even when they can't see them. Research has shown that these seals are capable of determining different species in the water using their whiskers alone. That's likely due to their sensitivity, 10 times more sensitive than your dog or your cat's whiskers. Now these seals are going to use their eyes and their whiskers to find their prey. You've probably noticed that the fish that we provide our seals comes incredibly easy. However, the same cannot be said for their wild counterparts. Lots of fish is being removed from our oceans for our seafood. So much so that there's less and less fish in our oceans, meaning they might have to travel further or work harder to catch the same amount of food. But we're in luck. There is a way that you and I can help, and that is simply choosing sustainably sourced seafood. These companies consider those fish populations and ensure they're not taking too much out of the ocean. Hello Saturday, thank you so much for coming on out. So Saturday, do you think it's a pretty easy idea to be able to purchase sustainably sourced seafood? She is a little bit quiet, you can borrow the microphone. Yes, she agrees. It's definitely one simple way that we can help these seals in the wild and ensure they have plenty of food. Now, long-nosed fur seals are pretty impressive. They've been known to travel from the east coast of Australia all the way to New Zealand. So they need a pretty efficient way for them to move. And we call this bowing or porpoising. They're a mammal like you and I, so they need to be able to take a breath when they need. They can hold their breath for up to 6 to 8 minutes. I'm going to let Saturday demonstrate to you all just how easy it is for them to move for long periods of time. And because they're travelling such long distances across oceans, they're going to come across not only their natural predators and their prey, but unfortunately a lot of marine pollution as well. And they can accidentally mistake that for a bit of fish or play with something that could cause an entanglement injury. So Saturday has also come out to share with you all one simple action that we can take every single day. Every time it rains and storms, unfortunately a lot of rubbish that isn't in a bin is going to end up in our stormwater drains and flow out into the ocean. So if we can follow Saturday's example, we can make sure we have plenty of clean waters for our seals to thrive into the future. Because plastic, once it enters the environment, it never really disappears. So Saturday, do you want to show everyone what they can do? Incredibly easy, and if we can do that every single day, we can make our oceans a much safer place. And of course, by purchasing sustainable seafood at the same time, that means that we can help these guys in a very big way and ensure they're around for many generations to enjoy. It has been a pleasure introducing you all to our wonderful seals today. I hope you've had fun and have learned some wonderful new facts about these incredible seals that reside along our Australian waters. much and enjoy the rest of your stay here at Sealife Sunshine Coast.